drums when that starts off. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Friday to you. It is Greg Gnip and Chris Zinski. Gnyp Gnop, that's the show. Of course, it makes sense. I'm Greg Gnip, so I'm the Gnip. He's the Gnop. He's Chris Zinski, and it's Friday. The weather is, it's all right. It's a little humid today. I'm a little hot and sweaty, but that's okay. But you know what? It's
hot and sweaty. Anybody we know?
Hot and sweaty. Well, we'll talk about that. Right. No, I mean,
whatever.
No, but it's starting to feel a little bit like fall, and one of the things that I love about fall is one that it's not 95 degrees anymore, so that's good. But yeah. I don't go away in the summertime. Summertime has always been that whole thing where I just kind of tough out the whatever. But in the fall is always like when I start thinking, get away for a weekend, get away for a week. And then wintertime, it's like, you know what, let's just go someplace hot. And it's funny, you don't want to sweat in August.
Right.
But in February, you'll take 95 degrees and sweaty because you're sitting on a beach in Mexico or something like that. And that heat and humidity is just A-okay.
It's different. It's different. People go like, you must be a camper. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to be a camper. Are you kidding me? No. My God. Unless it's a $2 million Prevost that you're pulling up in the driveway, I'm not going camping.
Well, and it's funny you say that because my ex-wife, her father, so I guess that would be my ex-father-in-law. See the way I figured that out?
Wow.
They were going to start becoming campers.
Oh God.
And he bought one of those 48-foot buses that the side extends like 25 feet that way. TV comes from the floor. Like it was like
big diesel pusher.
Right, and it was like it's like I'm like I know people that have smaller condos than the bus that he has, and I'm like, that's not really camping. That's even above glamping, I believe.
That's the only way to roll, buddy. I'm sorry, it really is. It really is. I'm not getting a little tent out and worrying about rain and getting a little cooker out. My God, I mean, we did that when we were in our 20s. I'm not doing it now.
So I'm going to be 100% honest. I've never camped in my life.
Really?
I've never spent the night in a tent.
In the backyard? As a kid?
Nope, never wanted to.
Oh, okay.
Like, my idea of camping was like going to a Motel 6, and even there they left the light on for you. Right? So years ago I dated a girl, and I got to be honest, her family was very wealthy. Like they had a lot of money. And she talked me into camping one time. And I should have realized that we weren't really camping because we had no tents, sleeping bags, or anything like that. And so we drove, and it was kind of a little bit towards Port Huron area. And as we pulled in, she goes, okay, now we have to go down this road. So we turned down this road, and we drive. And she goes, well, we're almost there. And, so are you ready to have a good camping weekend? As we rounded the corner, we pull up to like this cabin that's got 2 satellite dishes, yeah,
there you go.
Like a hot tub, 2 generators in case the one dies. There's the other one, and she right. And my favorite thing is I'm like, how do you say this is camping? And she goes, well, we're gonna make a fire outside, and I'm like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. Hot showers. Dude, I love it. I'm just not a camper. Never was. Neither is my wife, so, it's perfect. We don't have that. We got to go camping. I was like, we got to go camping.
So as you can tell, we're talking about camping. Well, actually, we're talking about weekend getaways, vacations, things like that. And before we start, what do you drink? What are you drinking?
One of my favorite summertime beers, because this is like the last week of summer, Niagra-on-the-Lake. It's just, but you know what? It's great all year long if you can find it. Hard to find, but just a beautiful, beautiful color. Yep. It is one of my favorite beers from Mexico.
I have had many. See, and right now, good place to vacation, Mexico.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm being really boring because I was planning on having a cocktail today, and then my nice can par guy delivered my coffee from Hawaii.
From Hawaii?
From Hawaii.
So are the shipping's more than the product?
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, for sure it is.
No, so years ago, I went to Hawaii, and I went to the Kauai Estates coffee place, and the coffee there is fantastic. And they used to do a coffee of the month club. They've changed that up, so I haven't been able to do that. So instead, I ordered a couple, and they came in, so I had to grind it up, and it is just sheer happiness in a black mug right now. So I'm just drinking some Kauai, and it's like Pupau Estates coffee.
Nice. So I got to ask you, do you drink your coffee? Do you like adulterate it with, cream and sugar and all that stuff? Or are you drinking this black because it's such a great coffee?
So my first coffee of the day, every day, has to have milk and sugar in it.
Oh.
If my first coffee doesn't have milk and sugar, I don't even like the taste of it.
Oh.
After that first coffee, it's black coffee all day long.
Wow.
And it's the weirdest thing. So I'm just drinking this one black. It's that good. It's oily, it's rich, and it's just delicious. And I mean, let's be honest, going to Hawaii is not a bad way to learn about coffee.
Cheers, buddy.
So cheers, my friend. So you're going away, eh?
I am. We haven't been away in a long time, so it's an adult weekend away. We're gonna go. We're gonna go to Stratford. We had Rory on a number of weeks ago talking about Stratford coming back, and we'd been there before and had a wonderful time. It's a beautiful town, and just thought, you know what? Let's just go away. So go away for a couple days, and we're gonna check out a show. While we're up there as well, and managed to score some tickets. So,
what are you going to go see?
That's a really good question. It's a show called Serving Elizabeth, and it's basically told from the narration. There's two narrators in the story. One is a restaurant owner who is catering the visit of the 1952 Kenyan visit of Queen Elizabeth II, but she's actually Princess Elizabeth at the time. And the second narrator is from like 2015, more of a modern touch, a person who's actually, I think, writing a book on the royals and her view. And it's just kind of these convergent views, and apparently they merge at the top at the end of the story. Anyway, it's supposed to be really good. I was talking to Rory about it the other day, and he said it was really, really good. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. And great place to go, too.
Yeah, great breweries,
lots of food.
Lots of great food. So looking forward to it, and it's fall, right?
Right.
Soon?
And that's the thing. And it's pretty. I mean, Stratford is just such a pretty town.
It is. Town.
They've done this small town thing perfectly.
Well, they got a great shtick, right? They got the river that runs through it.
Yeah,
and then putting the Shakespearean theaters kind of along the river and having a beautiful old downtown and trying to keep it historic, and they have done it right, and they have a great BIA and merchant group that is just totally committed to it, and there's Justin Bieber shops.
And the thing is, and you know what, and I'm gonna be 100% honest. I there's a couple of places in our area that's starting to kind of find their niche that way as well, and I gotta give props to Amherstburg.
Yep.
I mean, they're starting to find that kind of. I don't want to say Stratford niche because it's different, but they're finding their own place, and then of course Kingsville.
Yeah. Great communities locally that a lot of people go and visit for the wineries, the breweries, the restaurants. I mean, and they're both waterfront communities, so that's also a massive draw. So,
well, and that's the other thing. Yeah, see, and I love the idea of because I did a weekend getaway last week. Well, last weekend I went up to Toronto, but then we did like Thornhill like Markham and just a few little places. And
right.
Gotta be honest, I gotta tell you, I'm gonna tell you this right now. You go to Toronto, if you have a chance to go and eat at the Good Catch Boil House in Markham.
Oh.
Unbelievable. The huge whiskey selection.
Okay.
Great craft beers. But the piece de resistance, there's two of them.
Okay.
Well, there's three, actually. Their crab cakes are amazing. Lobster cheese fries.
Yikes. Okay.
And then lobster nachos.
All right. And I know you like your nachos, so.
Yeah. I mean, how can you say no to lobster nachos? I mean,
yeah.
delicious.
There's been a lot of great places to go within driving distance of Windsor, Detroit. I got to tell you, on the Michigan side, one of my all-time favorites is Saugatuck, Michigan.
Oh yeah,
which is it's a community kind of like towards like Chicago, so it's on the western side of the state, and it's also been kind of known as kind of Chicago's playground as well on weekends, because it's about an hour. Maybe a little bit more than an hour away from Chicago, but it's right across the lake, right? So a lot of people boat there, and it's just phenomenal, right? It's an artisan community, so it's everything's really crafty and arty, and a lot of entertainment and lots of craft beers, and wow, just it's so worth the drive to go up there. And plus, you're also it's also a great drive going up towards Saugatuck.
Oh yeah, and another place out that way is Grand Rapids. If you're a beer drinker, I mean, granted, you've got to deal with the DeVosses and some of their thinking, but you put up with that, and then there's all the breweries that are all over Grand Rapids and that area. So it's I love going out that way because I mean, and that's one of the things what I'm a foodie. I love food. I love drink, and I will take vacations specifically based on a distillery, a brewery, or, so-and-so just opened up a brand new restaurant. I found a reservation. I'm going. And it's like, I mean, sometimes people say, well, what about, did you go and see such and such? I'm like, no.
Nope.
No, but I did taste the double IPA pineapple milkshake beer, and they're like, "Well, you missed the geyser that everyone's known for." I'm like, "No, but that one had a lot of foam." You can
say that, but Grand Rapids, which I still haven't checked out, by the way, but I do want to check it out if the border's ever open. Is they've got one of the largest sculpture gardens in the world that you can walk through that I hear is absolutely incredible. And they've also got an art festival, like an art walk festival. That's one of the largest in the world as well. And I can't remember the name of it. But the prizes for the artists, and they come globally to this festival, are massive. So I hear it's just absolutely incredible.
Oh, it's amazing, and that's the thing. I love that idea where the art shows. It's like in our area, West Bloomfield. West Bloomfield has one of the largest curated art shows in North America, and it's absolutely stunning when you see you can actually take almost a weekend in West Bloomfield to do that because you wander around the whole thing, and by the time you're done, you're like, oh my God, I'm tired. There was so much to look at and do.
For sure.
But I love that and the thing was, I was kind of looking at the whole idea about weekend getaways, and it's funny. There's actually health benefits. Actually health benefits. I know, right?
No.
They talk about it de-stressing you.
Your liver.
Well. Theoretically, it de-stresses you. Now, depending on who you date, though, that can be a problem, though, because I'm one of these kind of guys. I fly by the seat of my pants. The only thing I will always make sure I have is a hotel reservation, but. Other than that, it's like, you get to a place and it's like, I don't want to have my entire weekend planned from 8 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock at night. Sometimes I want to go, hey, look at that. Oh, cool coffee shop. Let's just walk in there.
Yeah.
And do that. And so the de-stressing may not always work if you've got someone who likes to, plan every second of every moment of your day. So that can be a little bit tough. Right. And they also say if you go away, it's actually good for your immune system because it boosts up some hormone in your body, and it actually makes your body feel better. So, it's always a good thing.
All right. I'll buy it.
Right. I mean, think about it. You're doing good. You're helping your immune system. You're de-stressing this weekend when you go away. Now, what I want to do, and I've never done this. I've never been, and I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but I've never been to the Niagara region for a weekend.
Oh yeah, we have lots of friends that go there almost every weekend.
And to me, it's such an iconic Ontario thing to do.
Yeah, and when we talk Niagara, we're not talking Niagara Falls. We're talking Niagara-on-the-Lake.
Yes.
So let's keep those two separate. Niagara Falls is a tourist trap, whereas Niagara-on-the-Lake is, wineries, breweries, bistros.
Well, to be
great,
fair,
great
it's a
food,
tourist trap, but it's a completely different style tourist
Sure,
trap.
sure it is, sure it is. Absolutely, absolutely. But I got to tell you, one of the things that I really, really miss is the DIA, and it's just getting worse and worse because we can't cross the border. Yeah. I'm not going to lie to get across the border, but wow, like that was one thing I was thinking about today was, man, when was the last time I saw a great art gallery? When you go to Chicago but Detroit Institute of Arts is it's world class. I really miss it. So cheers to my friends of the DIA.
To the DIA. To the DIA. I said I'm really lucky. I have a great friend over in Detroit, and she used to live in the Park Shelton, right next to the DIA.
Right.
And Rachel Lutz, and she had some stores in the Park Shelton. I think she still does have some of her clothing stores there, but that would be our thing where she would say, "Hey, you want to meet up and have a couple of cocktails? Let's meet at the Kresge Court at the DIA."
Wonderful.
And it would be awesome. So you'd go in there, have a couple of cocktails, and then it would be like, maybe roam around a little bit and just, you might not go right into the whole thing, but, you'd get to see some of the stuff on your way to and from the Kresge Court. And I don't understand. I don't know why more people don't take advantage of the DIA.
Yeah, and as Canadians, they did a special deal for us. So I'm like a sustaining member of the DIA, and what they ended up doing was they halted our memberships, and they didn't allow it to kind of expire. So if you were basically coming on and couldn't get across the border, just like all the rest of the Canadians, they've extended your membership out whenever the border can open, and then it'll expire whatever was left before they close the border, which was March of 2020. And it looks like we have lost Greg Gnip in this melee somehow. Maybe a power outage or whatever, but yeah, this is live on Facebook. That's what you get. Just to kind of talk a little bit about some other great places in Ontario. There is a place called Langan Hall, which is in Cambridge, but it's Cambridge by the 401, out by the Toyota plant. One of the most amazing spots in the province of Ontario to go to. Famously, there was a Dead Mouse. Dead Mouse had parked his Lamborghini in front of Langan Hall and took a picture of it and had millions of likes and I'm like, oh, I know that place. It's just a wonderful kind of getaway, really kind of exclusive and secluded, and a place I'd recommend in a heartbeat to go to if you can ever get into it or afford it, frankly, because the prices are crazy for places like that today. Hey, you're back.
Hi, I'm back.
Good, nice to see you.
Yeah. Hey, what's this button do? Ah, there it is. There it is. But
well, I'll tell you what it did. It did nothing. So there you go.
That's all right. It's all good. But so you're talking about nice places like Langan Hall and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
It's I don't know why. So one of the things I used to do long time ago. I have a motorcycle, and I used to tell some of the girls I dated that there are times that I would get a motorcycle and just ride for a couple of hours and stay the night somewhere, and right, and I would explain to them. I said it's nothing bad. It's just and it was kind of fun because I'd land in some kind of town, and they'd have a motel, and I'd stay there. Have a couple of beers in my, put a couple of beers in the sink, go find a little restaurant, eat, kind of see the town, and then just chill out. And it was like, that weekend getaway on the motorcycle. I was pretending I was like Easy Rider, of course.
I think you just described almost the plot for every horror movie or like CSI episode.
Well, pretty much, yeah. Well,
they were tourists. Just passing through town,
and he didn't know where he was, but somehow this is my strong hand, it's but then I have to say though, one of my favorite places to go, and you mentioned it, earlier to Chicago.
Oh yeah, what a wonderful
Chicago,
town.
just a great place. Like you said, the art gallery. There's all the the what is it, the Miracle Mile or whatever it's called. You just and you can just walk around Chicago, and there's always something to find, something that you haven't seen. You didn't see the last time you were there. It's there in Chicago, and it's always kind of fun to see.
Yeah, and there's lots of great cities in the United States that are within like 5 hours drive of Detroit, not just Chicago, but if you go Wisconsin way or even go down to Minneapolis, St. Paul, which, has like 50 million visitors as well, because they literally they're a town that has everything, pro sports and mountains, and it's just one of those great communities to be in. So, yeah,
well,
it's nice to travel.
Funny enough, though, you know where I've had fun? Toledo, Ohio.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Toledo, they got the Mud Hens.
Yeah.
They've got the
Tony Pacos.
Oh, they've got the sausage place that was famous from MASH.
Tony Pacos.
They've got that.
Jimmy
They've got some great little breweries there. They've got Cloister Brewing Company and just some great places, and the river doesn't catch fire anymore, so that's always good too.
You bet.
So
awesome, man.
I don't know. Now I want to go on vacation.
You can come with us if you want.
Yeah. You might want to ask your wife.
Yeah, no.
Honey, can Greg come with us?
No,
I don't make a lot of noise.
On that,
I'll lay at your feet like the puppy dog.
On that note, great seeing you, Greg.
Always fun. Have a great vacation.
You bet. We'll see you next Friday on Gnyp Gnop. You can catch us here on Facebook on Fridays at noon and on YouTube, but you can also catch us in audio, basically on every format out there. Thanks, everybody.